Okay, so let's now dig into the end of the book and our final presentation on a separate piece. So, a separate piece examines this idea of friendship, jealousy, and then finally, what happens when it all goes awry because of a stressful environment and an impending war and all of those things. So Lepper has enlisted and he's gone off. He thought he was going to be a skier in the war. It didn't quite work out, and we see this from postcards that he sent, but also we learn that he has deserted the war. He left the army because it wasn't what he thought it was going to be. Meanwhile, the boys back at the school had created this entire false narrative about Lepper catching Hitler and killing him himself because they were just trying to cope with the idea of their friend going off to war. Now, the chapter the conclusion of the book kind of revolves around Jean's fear that Finney might find out the truth, even though Jean actually tried to tell Finney the truth, and how it might unfold. And then Brinker becomes the real pot stirrer in this. There's a literary term for what Brinker is. He is a trickster. He is the one who causes trouble for the other characters. And he's insisting on having justice. And he does it by creating this kangaroo court where they're going to try Jean, and Lepper is going to be the surprise witness who tells the truth because Lepper overheard what happened on the branch. He was the only witness, and now he's back. And this is going to be kind of the climactic event. But the problem is, Finney doesn't want to know the truth, and Brinker is on this self-righteous pedestal, and he is trying to play this scenario out without any regard for anybody's feelings except his own desire to have the truth out there. So it winds up in a rather disastrous series of events. Finney storms out of the court when the truth comes out, and those marble stairs come into play as he tumbles down those marble stairs. And then we have the fiasco with the medical professional at the school. And then finally, we end up with Finney dying. And then we go back to the framed narrative and Jean reflecting on what happened. And it ends with him understanding that he has been having a private war within his soul for the last 15 years because he was never able to come to terms with what happened, his role in it, and he took on exclusive blame for it. So, a couple of things. Let's go to the micro presentation for this section. I want to focus in on the trials of the century. It's a common phrase on sensationalized TV. There's been many trials of the century. So I want you to pick one of these 5 trials: the Lindbergh kidnapping, O.J. Simpson trial, the Chicago 7 trial, Rodney King trial, and the Scopes monkey trial. So you pick one of these 2, and you are going to create 5 slides. You're going to tell us about the famous trial, and then you're going to connect it and compare it with the mock trial that happens in the book, and then you'll kind of bring it all together with some original, entertaining idea. You kind of have free reign to create the presentation however you want. You can include a video clip if you want. However you want to do it, you go ahead and you kind of examine these one of these trials and try to connect it to a separate piece.